Welcome to the Random Ass Podcast. I'm your random asshole, Christopher Steele.
And I'm the other random asshole, Steele-Rhoads. Welcome to the show. This is a new style we're gonna do for this. This is gonna be a brackets episode where we take two things, put them against each other. Multiple things, 8 generally. We're gonna do a bracket of 8, and put things against each other in a similar genre or type, and determine what the best is of the list.
All right. So for this one, we're going to do...
you should explain how we're going to actually break it down, because you know what we're going to do. I'm still kind of in the dark on how we're going to actually determine what goes on.
We're each going to pick...
Who we think should win.
Have our own picks, and then we're going to pick together if there's a conflict.
Right, we'll discuss the finer points of...
And then we'll have a third one.
The mutual pick will be the winner that goes on. Is that how we're doing it? We each have one we think should win, and if we oppose, then we have a match. Or a debate, conversation, whatever.
This one is going to be...
So I'm going to bring up a bell in case we have one, so we can have a little... Yeah, 80s comedies is the genre today. At least one of them, depends on how quick this episode goes.
So, I made up this bracket. So the first matchup is The Great Outdoors versus Caddyshack.
Fuck.
You want?
I'll let you start. I'll let you. Who do you think should win that one? I'm debating in my head right now, so it's.
I'm going with Great Outdoors.
Fuck.
I'll be one. You be two.
Okay. Now see. Part of me wants to disagree with you so bad and be like, no, Caddyshack's the better comedy. But you're right. Great Outdoors should win that one flat out because it more laughs per minute, little less. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
All right.
But Caddyshack has Dangerfield. Yeah, we'll go with John Candy on the funny fat guy.
All right. Next matchup is Ferris Bueller's Day Off versus National Lampoon's European Vacation.
I'll take this round, and I'll start with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I agree.
See, we have similar tastes in movies. We need maybe like a third vote that kind of fucks everything up. It just.
I think we might. Second round might be different.
Oh yeah, because right now I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is between Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Great Outdoors.
All right, next matchup is Spaceballs.
Oh man.
Versus National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh man, you start this one.
I gotta go with Spaceballs.
I have to agree. I'll tell you this much right now: the vacation movies, as much as I do enjoy them, they're not in my realm of favorite, like movies. I love them on their own. If they're like on TV or something, I'll watch them. I got nothing against them. But if I'm going to seek out a comedy, an 80s comedy, it's probably not going to be a vacation movie.
All right, so the last matchup
of the first round. Dude, we're not even 5 minutes in and we almost got the first round done because we agree that much when it comes to some of these damn genre types. So the bell may not be necessary at all.
Like I said, I think the next round might be a little bit different.
Right?
Is Adventures in Babysitting.
Damn.
Versus Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, and I start this round. Well, I know what you're picking. I'm almost 1,000% sure what you're picking. And I want to make this interesting because I can defend Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure a little bit more than I can defend Adventures in Babysitting. So I'm going to go with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Well, I'm picking Adventures in Babysitting.
I fucking knew it, so let the debate begin. I'll let you start.
Come on, don't fuck with the Lords of Hell.
Oh, yeah, but dude, Rufus. George Carlin trumps everything. I don't care what you whip out. You could be like Thor. George Carlin.
But
George Carlin.
It's not his best role.
No, it's not his best role, but his best role isn't on there. But on that list, George Carlin is on there. And in my book, George Carlin comes first.
So, So you're going to pick Mr. Conductor.
Yep. Dude, Mr. Conductor's got a great lineage. I will argue Mr. Conductor, too. Mr. Conductor is Ringo Starr and George Carlin. So, yeah, suck it. That's fucking good lineage right there. That's a Beatle and a comedic god.
Adventures of Babysitting.
Rufus, dude. I get where you're coming from. I know I'm not going to be able to sway you, and I love both movies, but I just wanted to have the match a little bit, just to go George Carlin. Because we never mentioned George Carlin on the show.
Right.
And I see a bracket in just stand-up comedians. And that's going to have to be like a 16 or fucking 24-man bracket. That's going to be a huge fucking bracket.
It would be 16 or 32.
I can see it going to a three-way at the end.
Nah, make it...
32, yeah. But still, yeah, I can think of 32 comedians right off the top of my head that should be on that list. I know you can, too.
Uh-huh.
I know you can think of 16 and I can think of 16 and we can have a good fucking...
Yeah, maybe. But how many overlapping?
Right.
Gotta go.
I concede to Adventures in Babysitting. It is a way better movie. I just wanted to have an argument and get the George Carlin mention in there.
I get George Carlin, but
winner of that round, Adventures in Babysitting.
Overall, it's
I just wanted to add. I wanted to show what a little bit of it would be like if we actually did disagree.
But next round,
this could be some. You want to go backwards or forwards? Should we give Adventures of Babysitting a little bit of time to rest?
Yeah. All right.
Yes, we are wrestling fans. Tournament lingo is in our wheelhouse.
So the next round, The Great Outdoors versus Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And you get to start this one.
Better comedy is still Great Outdoors.
Depending on what kind of comedy you're looking for.
It's John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
It is John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a...
That's Stewart...
It's Stewart from Spin City
and fucking...
Baby from Dirty Dancing and fucking Charlie from 2.5 Men, and I know who all's in the damn movie.
It's still... the guy that beat the fake Godzilla.
Actually, it's just Zilla. I've been doing research on this because I was like, okay, how does this Godzilla fit into the... And this is just a side tangent. How does the American Godzilla fit in at all, if at all?
Actually, he does.
I know. They call him Zilla in the canon of the Japanese ones, and it's what the Americans thought was Godzilla, not Godzilla. In the newest Godzilla movie, he gets his ass beat like that.
Right.
They kick it some 41 to go, hey, this is America, and
he gets booted by the real Godzilla into space.
Yep. No. Not into space. And gets electrocuted to death. Gets blasted into an electrical substation and just electrocuted to death. All you see left is that Godzilla in a smoldering charcoal pile, and it's like, that's good. Good, they got rid of Zilla. We didn't need it anyway. But yeah, I can't even argue the point. Great Outdoors is a better comedy. Just going straight comedy versus comedy, yes. Great Outdoors is a better comedy. Simple fact, as you said, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. And not just John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, but them at their peak comedic skills, their timing. Fucking doing lines of blow in the back. Wait. I'm not positive on that, but it would explain a lot of how quick they were on their feet.
Actually, yeah.
You can pretty much guarantee it was the fucking 80s. And it was John Candy and Dan Aykroyd.
Definitely John Candy.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's what weakened his heart.
Alright.
Aykroyd seems more like a stoner to me anyway.
Now this one is tough for me.
Yeah.
Spaceballs versus Adventures in Babysitting.
And I start this one, and I'm going Spaceballs. And I'm not even going to fucking, I will give Adventures in Babysitting a lean. Spaceballs is a better fucking comedy. Mel Brooks trounces anything that came out of Adventures in Babysitting. His jokes are funnier. The character development is key. As much as I love Adventures in Babysitting.
As much as I love Adventures in Babysitting, I have to say I will concede this one to Spaceballs. Because
all I have to do is say Mel Brooks. That's pretty much is the trump card in that match.
Actually, I can't say that for everything Mel Brooks. I hated fucking
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles.
Right, but you're not a Western fan either.
Right.
You don't you don't sit down and watch Gunsmoke or Bonanza, or you're not into the tropes of Western television. Or I am. Like, I get it. I found it fucking hilarious because it... Like, the bean scene is, like, I've always... Like, they sitting around eating beans in Wagon Train every damned episode, not one guy farts. And they have the lunch scene where everybody's sitting out at the... You know, the wagon trains are all circled up, and they're just... Everybody's... It's like, that's A, hilarious, and B, real as shit. Though you know that it wasn't silent like it was in the Gunsmoke days.
But
Spaceballs is fucking hilarious. But see, that is gonna... Okay, now we've conceded that Spaceballs is going on, right?
Right.
So it's Spaceballs versus Great Outdoors.
Yes.
So it's John Candy versus John Candy. This is literally... Okay, so basically right now we are determining two things. In the 80s, John Candy ruled comedies. Yeah. So the winner of the overall bracket is John Candy. Now, it's the co-stars who have to suffer. And when it comes to oh man, let me actually look up a little bit about Great Outdoors, because I'm not positive on the production end of it. I just know I've seen it and I really laughed my ass off throughout it.
Right.
But like Spaceballs, I know who wrote, directed, who all was starring in it and shit. Like, but Great Outdoors, I'm like, I don't know about that. I know Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, and a couple of the side bit characters, you know.
Or John Candy's wife looked familiar. I can't.
Yeah, Stephanie Farsi does a lot of stuff. I know. Like I just looked down and saw her face, and I'm like, yeah, I know her. I don't know what I know her from, but I know her. She's in a lot of stuff. She's in stuff now. Annette Bening. Okay, who directed? That's my question. John Hughes. Oh man. Oh. John Hughes didn't direct. He wrote it. This is a John Hughes pen, directed by Howard Dutch. I'll go with Dutch.
So it's a Mel Brooks versus John Hughes.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it's starring Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. Now let me look into this Stephanie Farsi and see what I know her from. She was in Hocus Pocus. She was in Sideways. I don't recognize her from those things. I know her from... She was in Laverne and Shirley back in the day. Did an episode of Magnum P.I. No, I know her from something recent, though. That's what's really getting me. Shit, My Dad Says. She was in an episode of that. She did an episode of How I Met Your Mother. Yips. She's the one that Barney lost his virginity to in Yips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God damn, dude. She was Dottie in Modern Family. She's... Okay, this all fucking makes sense as to how I know her. She's a character actress. I love character actors and actresses. They are the backbone of Hollywood.
And
right now,
you want to make your pick, or...
I'll make my pick, and I'll just go straight up out of comedy lineage. Spaceballs has more to offer.
I have to go with Great Outdoors on this one. I love
Spaceballs. I get it.
But the Great Outdoors is more real.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna concede to Great Outdoors for the simple fact it's not just more real. There's actually better character development within the comedy itself. Spaceballs is just joke. You're going to laugh a lot at Spaceballs, but you're not going to get anything in the long run from Spaceballs. Where Great Outdoors has a hilarious premise and character development, but there's actually a heart to it as well. There's a story, and you feel for the characters by the time you get done. It's a better movie overall.
Yes.
So I'll concede. Great Outdoors wins the 80s comedies.
Yeah, I can say a few lines from Great Outdoors where, like, big, you want a big sandwich? Big bear, big bear, huh? Big bear chase, and then big bear chase me. How many times have you been struck by lightning? Six times? Wow. 60. My favorite is you bastards! You bastards! What's he say? Go faster? Oh, we can do that. You bastards! You bastards! Movie's hilarious.
It really is. So, the winner of the 80s comedy bracket, at least the first 80s comedy bracket, because there are a lot more 80s comedies that can be thrown into another bracket.
Yeah.
And if they do, this is the reigning champion. If there is another bracket, that winner has to face off against Great Outdoors.
Right.
Like so winner of the first bracket. Hey, we took 15 minutes down on this. We could probably fit another one in. I got mine already done up.
All
right. So we've gone from 80s comedy to 80s horror.
Just horror.
Oh yeah, not yet. Well, predominantly 80s horror is because those are the most memorable, with a few exceptions of 70s and 90s,
70s to 90s,
2000s.
2000.
Yeah, I got Jeepers Creepers is on here, so that's 2000s. Yep, that's 2003. First one was 2003, and it feels like a 90s. It really did. That's why I loved it so much. It felt so visceral. Like the cell phones were big fucking logs, and they didn't have them like this readily available, all fully charged constantly. 93 hours of charge time, shit like that. Okay, so horror movie. First off the bracket. Now, who's one, who's two in this? I'll go CD on mine. Friday the 13th. These are franchises now. We're doing franchises of horror movies. Friday the 13th versus Halloween.
Halloween.
Okay. See, I agree that it's a great horror movie, but God, you're right. Friday the 13th had too many schlocky bits in the in-between. But Halloween had so many, like, retcons and like, character reboots, and it's like, how many times can we kill off Jamie Lee Curtis before she comes back again? She's just as bad as Michael. It would not surprise me if they did like they did the newest Halloween. It wouldn't surprise me if they did like a sequel to that one where they come to find out that they're both supernaturally charged assholes that won't fucking die, and they're caught in an eternal struggle that's been going on for a lot longer than we've been led to believe. But until they do that, Halloween has a lot of shit where it's just like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm just counting the John Carpenter ones. If I throw are you counting the zombies too? Because Rob Zombie's first Halloween plus second Halloween, massive minus.
Right.
So if you're counting those, it's definitely Friday the 13th.
But
because the Friday the 13th reboot is solid as fuck.
I don't count the reboot. So.
Okay, so no reboots in these? These are just original franchises? Yeah, I'll go Halloween. Halloween goes on. Sorry, Friday the 13th.
The biggest problem Halloween actually had was Halloween 3.
And again, I don't really count that as a part of the
which is not really a part of the franchise.
It is, but it isn't. It was their attempt to make the franchise an anthology. Had they done Halloween 2...
It wasn't by the same people.
It was, though. John Carpenter wrote that. He wrote that as he intentionally wrote Halloween 3 as a way to try and turn the Halloween franchise into an anthology series that surrounded itself around Halloween, not just Michael Myers. The problem is they did Halloween 2, which was a direct sequel to the first Halloween, and it had Michael Myers. Had they done 3 as part 2 and built this as, we're going to do an anthology of...
All right, so...
Then he would have been...
Halloween...
Halloween moves on, though, so yes. Next. Child's Play and the Chuckies. Anything starring Chucky, I'll go with. Seeds, Brides, all that. Against the Puppet Master franchise, which, again, still releasing movies now. Same with Chucky. They're both still releasing movies now. They're not the greatest, but those first 3 of both of them are fucking amazing. And that's what I base my love of franchises on.
You go first on.
With this one, I'm going to have to go with Puppet Master. Just because there's more throughout the entire arc of Puppet Master. They've developed from being little killers to Little Heroes.
I was thinking the same thing, but it's...
Where Chucky is just a psychopath in a fucking doll's body, which...
My thought process is, on the series, as a whole, Puppet Masters remains more of a horror movie.
Right.
Where Chucky
has become a comedy.
Right.
It's become a fucking comedy. No, it's become
it's a spoof of itself.
Yeah. When they started naming them Chuckies after the first 3 Child's Plays, it was just like, you know what? It's a joke. Those first 3 Child's Plays, though, they played those serious as shit, and very well. I got to admit, they told a nice, concise story in those first 3, but it's fallen apart since then.
But I agree with Puppet Masters.
Of all the Puppet Masters I've seen, I haven't watched the last 3, but of the ones that I've seen, they have consistently stayed horror. They've consistently told a good through story about the entire...
Right.
From beginning to where I finished, they were all good. Like, I watched the first 7 of them, and I know they're like up to 10 or 12.
Right.
But the ones that got theatrical releases, those are fantastic fucking movies. So yeah, Puppet Master goes on. Oh, damn. This one, I'm seeing this one go into a debate.
All right.
Phantasm versus Jeepers Creepers. And you start.
I'm going to go with Phantasm.
You would. And I know what I'm going with because I'm surprised you actually suggested to put this one on the list. It was Jeepers Creepers. I'm going with Jeepers Creepers. But I haven't seen part 3 yet, so I'm kind of...
Me neither.
Alright, so, good.
But there's a reason I haven't seen 3.
Saw the trailer for 4 already?
No. The second one was so shitty.
Really? You didn't like number 2? I like number 2 as much as I like number 1 because it laid it right into the...
No, to me, the first movie, if it was just the first movie, I might go with that one.
Okay.
Because...
Hold on. Jeepers Creepers versus Phantasm.
Because in the Creeper was so meticulous.
Right.
And the second one, I don't care. I'm just gonna kill people.
No, everything he did. See, I don't see where you get that from. You must have fell asleep during that movie. Because I'm dead serious. Because he's extremely meticulous as to what he does in part 2. Like fucking extremely. The only time he kills people like haphazardly is if they've done damage and he needs to regenerate body part. Like, and the thing I liked most about Jeepers Creepers 2 is they refer to the first one even to the point where when his face is in the window, he's got Derry's eye.
Right.
Like they keep the story so concise. It's within those first 23 days, and then it ends with the dude waiting, just fucking waiting. That's why I want to see part 3. I want to know where that falls in.
But he did kill more haphazardly. They wanted a higher body count.
Yes, they wanted a higher body count, but he also had an entire group of people he needed to determine what he needed from them, so he needed to strike fear into them. A couple of those kills were intended to spark the entire bus's fear pheromones so he could sniff them out. That's what that entire 5-10 minute sequence of him walking around the bus smelling, he's looking for who he needed next. And that's why he got the dork next, is because he needed brains. Boom.
I get that. It's just not as good of a movie.
And my problem with Phantasm is the 5th movie just destroyed the entire lore for me. It was like they had such a good thing up to 5. Like the first 4 were like really good horror movies, and they did a lot to explain Tall Man and shit. But they just like that open-endedness of, we knew fucking Tall Man isn't coming back because Angus Scrimm is dead. So they should have taken that fucking cue to wrap it up nicely. To put a fucking solid ending as to what the fuck was going on, and to go, it could be a dream. It's just like, you just shit all over a good 20 years worth of fucking horror.
Actually, about 4 years.
You're right. About 40 years of horror in one fucking badly edited movie.
But Angus Grimm passed away about the same time that was released.
I know.
And the movie was recorded like 5 years earlier.
Prior, yeah. It went through developmental hell. Well, won't even lie about that. But another problem is the fifth one doesn't feel horror to me. That feels more
sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi adventure than horror. Whereas Jeepers Creepers, both Jeepers Creepers movies stayed horror the entire fucking time. I haven't seen 3. They might go fucking dipshit Freddy Krueger comedy on that.
Right. But I will say this much with Phantasm. They did screw over their own continuity.
Okay, so how about this? I can give the concession to Phantasm if we leave out the last of each movies, because I haven't seen 3 and 5 was shit.
But I think they screwed Phantasm over
in 3.
After 3, because then they kill the kid off.
They left him wounded. He wasn't dead. He didn't die on screen. He was wounded, and they thought he was dead and was going to die and left him behind. So him necessarily dying wasn't here nor there.
But he became like a phantom or something. It sucked into the ball.
Yeah.
With his brother Jody. Then they never
mention it again. Yeah.
Never mentioned again.
Now, if 5 fits in before that happens, then shit might make sense, because if it's all like a battle in dreams, like a battle in between realms into the dream world, then it would make sense that like anything is fucking possible. Right. He's not really dead. He's just fucking in a coma and got sucked into the ball. Like a lot of shit can be given up in that regard, and I don't know where Phantasm 5 actually fits into the timeline. They make it seem like it's after, but if you take that story and put it in the in between segment, then it makes everything fall together a little bit better.
Actually, 5 fits
between 2 and 3.
Actually, between 2 and 5.
5 fits in between 2 and 5.
Yeah, it's like it fits in from here all the way to
right. It does this kind of thing over the other movies. You got okay. Phantasm moves on. Phantasm gets the concession. Next and final first round. Ooh, this one's actually going longer. The horror movies actually is going to take longer. Go figure. Nightmare on Elm Street versus Hellraiser.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I have to agree. I have to agree for one reason only.
I don't count the reboot. So.
Neither do I. And Hellraiser never had a reboot. It just had sequel upon sequel upon sequel. And the last 3 sequels didn't have the original Pinhead, even though he was completely available. He was like, these scripts are shit, fuck you, no way. So, just by that alone, when the main actor looks at the movie and goes, Nightmare on Elm Street moves on, hands down.
Alright.
Next would be Halloween versus Puppet Master.
You go first or me?
Since you went first on this one, I'll go first on this one. I'll go with Puppet Master.
I want to say Halloween. But I will concede that one to Puppet Master, just because
Puppet Master's never seen a reboot, firstly. Secondly, its story hasn't really gotten convoluted to the point where they had to retcon much.
Right, and
there's no Puppet Master that doesn't have anything to fucking do with Puppet Master.
And right. I was going to say Halloween 3.
It stayed consistently Puppet Master. It didn't have... Like, Halloween 3 is like the bane of Halloween's existence.
Yeah.
It threw the numbering off. It fucked everything up.
Yeah.
Phantasm versus Nightmare on Elm Street. Fuck. You start.
I'm going to actually go with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Good. Me too. Because Nightmare on Elm Street, even though they did take a turn in the middle movies towards horror comedy, still was fucking scary as shit.
Right.
Like, as a fucking kid growing up on these movies, I could watch Phantasm and not get scared because I'm just like, That ball's flying. That shit don't make sense. Where Nightmare on Elm Street is like, I have to fucking sleep.
Right.
So, like, just hands down, Nightmare on Elm Street moves on in that one, too. So we're down to fucking Puppet Master versus Nightmare on Elm Street for best horror movie franchise.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep. Not even a fucking... This was, yeah, once it got down... Like, I set the brackets up too easy to determine who was going to win in the later ones. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Take that, everybody else. Nightmare on Elm Street wins, and holy crap, we actually pulled this one in just under 30. Nice.
Well, just over 30.
Just over 30.
And so we'll say, like, share, subscribe.
Comment. Tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
Tell your frenemies.
Ring the notification bell. And until next time.
Keep it random. By the way, this is a backup episode, so this is going to show up whenever. Have fun.
Peace.
Peace.